Welcome back. Well, if your children love video games, chances are they're playing one called Fortnite.
Now, if your children like video games, chances are they love a new game that's called Fortnite.
Now the latest video game craze is Fortnite.
It's huge. It's absolutely huge. And a mobile phone version of the game is about to be launched that's going to, of course, tighten the game's grip even more.
This is a new game called Fortnite, is drawing millions of players, and some parents are worrying their kids are spending way too much time at the controls.
Parents say it's driving them absolutely mad because kids are just so hooked on it.
What makes this game different?
Battle Royale games could be the most popular genre in the world right now. Between Fortnite and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, the genre is the most streamed and watched thing on Twitch by just about every metric, from concurrent viewers to hours watched to most time streamed. The genre's rapid explosion has led to dozens of copycats, with Battle Royale modes implemented in many games, and clones taking over on every possible platform. But two games, PUBG and Fortnite, changed everything.
Now, Epic tells us that across PCs, consoles, and mobile devices, more than 45 million people have played the game. At one point last month, 3.4 million people were playing at the same time. Streaming gaming company Twitch says over 1 billion minutes of Fortnite gameplay were watched last month alone. And when rapper Drake joined the game, it broke Twitch's record for the most viewed game stream.
The Battle Royale genre got its start in the world of mods. Fans inspired by movies like The Hunger Games built themed mods for Minecraft around 2012.
Minecraft survival. These are the rules for the players. Only one player can win the survival games. You cannot break any blocks except for leaves and mushrooms. You are only allowed to place blocks you find in chests. Your inventory must be empty before you start. No player is allowed to enter the host's house. So those are the rules.
The idea worked pretty much just like The Hunger Games. A handful of players are set free on an island, starting in front of a pile of weapons and gear before running into the wilds to kill each other and be the last one standing.
Happy Hunger Games, and may the odds be ever in your favor.
But the concept wasn't unique to The Hunger Games either. The Battle Royale concept was essentially kicked off by a book and movie of the same name. The concept should sound familiar to PUBG or Fortnite players. 42 high school students are dropped on an island, given weapons, and told they have to kill each other until only one survives. Inspired by Battle Royale's take on the concept, a down-on-his-luck photographer and graphic designer named Brendan PlayerUnknown Green decided to start making his own Battle Royale mods for zombie survival game DayZ. Green switched over to modding the Arma series for a while, and was eventually brought on by Daybreak Games to consult on their own zombie survival Battle Royale game, H1Z1. Green then moved on to work with Korean publisher Bluehole to make his very own standalone Battle Royale game, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
If you were not first, you're dead last.
PUBG launched in early access in March 2017 and almost immediately blew up. It made $11 million within 3 days. Halfway through April, it hit 1 million copies sold. By June, it was at 4 million copies sold, with over $100 million in sales revenue. In December, not even a year after launch, PUBG reached 3.2 million concurrent players, higher than any other game on Steam. It's still the most played game on Steam, day in and day out, beating Dota 2 and CSGO, the former kings of Steam, by more than 1 million users.
The success we've seen has been so insane. You know?
It's the most played game on Steam now.
Right,
officially.
like by quite a large margin now, which is so. I never expected this. So I think right now, I just keep plowing forward and meeting fans and making games.
PUBG launched unfinished, riddled with bugs, lag issues, and horribly optimized performance.
How do I fall there? There's a fucking railing there! How do I fall through the railing?
It had one map and no way to learn how to interact with its dozens of intricate, interconnected systems without playing over and over again.
And I think that's what the draw is, that there's no rules, there's no, you have to play this way. It's just you can jump in and play, and whatever way you want to do. If you want to win with a pan, you go ahead.
By every metric, it should have been a cult hit, something that struck a chord with a dedicated niche of hardcore players and barely registered outside. But instead, it turned the industry upside down and inadvertently created its biggest competitor.
You know, one thing we want to look into is, like, for example, there's no IP protection in gaming. You know, in movies, in music, there's IP protection, you know, that you really can protect your work. But in gaming, that doesn't exist yet.
Buoyed by PUBG's incredible success, dozens of Battle Royale games cropped up on Steam, console, and mobile. And even big existing games added Battle Royale modes, including Grand Theft Auto. But only one game surpassed PUBG in popularity: Fortnite.
This week, Fortnite shot to the top of the app charts after private Epic Games opened signups for the iOS version of the Battle Royale mode, which has 100 players virtually fighting it out until one is left.
Fortnite was a game trapped in development hell for the better part of a decade. Originally announced way back in 2011, Fortnite was meant to be Epic Games' answer to Minecraft. It was a showcase for the then upcoming Unreal Engine 4, and tasked players with building massive forts and protecting them from monsters. But the game stayed in development for years, delayed by the difficulties that come with working in a brand new engine, and Epic's desire to release it through the game-as-a-service model with constant updates and tweaks.
Fortnite is just a very natural next step for Epic. It feels extremely like the right thing for us, because it is the very next step in making Epic a game company that's current.
By 2015, Fortnite development was sidelined in favor of Paragon, Epic's sci-fi MOBA shooter. By 2017, Fortnite was finally ready for the public, but people weren't coming to the game in droves. It was still the Minecraft meets shooter meets RPG that Epic pitched all those years ago, but fans weren't biting. Until Epic added a Battle Royale mode for Fortnite and spun it off into its own free-to-play game.
So we thought if we took Fortnite's dynamic, destructible world and its unique building mechanics and then combine that with what's best about the Battle Royale genre, that we could create something that was amazing. Fortnite Battle Royale is the 100-player, last man standing PvP experience you know so well, but combined with the limitless world of Fortnite.
Fortnite Battle Royale beat PUBG to consoles, and its more arcadey gunplay and kid-friendly visuals made it far more accessible than PUBG's military realism aesthetic. The increased accessibility paid off. According to Epic Games, Fortnite broke Battlegrounds' concurrent players record in February 2018, hitting 3.4 million concurrents. Meanwhile, Fortnite has shot up to being the 6th most watched game on Twitch in the last year, in only 7 months since launch. It's also the 2nd most streamed game over the last year. Battlegrounds is currently beating Fortnite in the streaming wars, sitting pretty as the 2nd most watched game and the most streamed game on Twitch. But the explosive growth of these two games has mystified plenty of industry pundits. Fortnite's numbers especially put it on track to be the biggest game Twitch has ever seen, with an average of over 5,000 channels concurrently streaming Fortnite across February and March.
I have dubbed this Fortnite mania. We're in the midst of it. You're in the epicenter of Fortnite mania right now. What do you think it was that has triggered this? It wasn't just Drake and Ninja. Even before that,
it was blowing up way before that.
I don't know. You know, a lot of people ask that question, and it's kind of hard to answer that because we are kind of in the middle of it.
There's a few possible reasons for that. First of all, and perhaps most obviously, the games are fun.
What do I do, man?
PUBG, Fortnite, and their dozens of copycats have an ebb and flow to their gameplay that can't happen in other competitive games. When the game starts, it's a rush to get geared up. Then there's a consistent and constant dread as you continuously make your way to safety, punctuated by explosive gunfights, all leading up to catharsis, whether that comes in victory or death. Another reason the genre has gotten so popular is the inherent watchability of Battle Royale games. That tension comes with a ton of downtime. The kind you don't get in a fast-paced game like CSGO or a mechanically intensive MOBA like League of Legends or Dota 2. That means streamers get to interact with their viewers and develop personalities that you don't get as often in other popular streaming games.
Cash.
PUBG was directly inspired by Battle Royale, and it carries the film's structure into gameplay. There's a calm intro, a quick rush of action, and then tension that's constantly cut with combat. Every game is a movie, and movies need actors.
I call it the Tri-Hawk.
Part of the Battle Royale genre's incredible growth is thanks in part to the immense number of streamers that broadcast the game on Twitch. Over the last year, Twitch has broadcast a combined total of over 3,000 years of PUBG and Fortnite footage, and Twitch viewers have watched over 94,000 years of the games. PUBG has been buoyed by players like former CSGO pro Shroud, whose incredible plays have made him a hit on Twitch.
If you wanna,
I might die.
You wanna heal up before you go in there? You should. No.
Oh my god. Holy shit.
Crazy man.
But even players without competitive origins have found success through PUBG. Dr. Disrespect is an over-the-top parody of macho 80s action movie characters played by Twitch streamer Guy Beam, and despite some controversy, he has emerged as one of the game's most notable faces, for better and for worse.
Hey Michael, I'd headbutt your left cheek, then I headbutt your right cheek, and then I headbutt your nose, then I headbutt your chest. By that time, you probably won't be breathing.
Fortnite, meanwhile, has been quickly overtaking PUBG on Twitch thanks to more approachable personalities like former Halo pro Ninja. He's become Twitch's biggest star, with over 180,000 subs, and gets to play rounds of Fortnite with Drake and Travis Scott.
Hi, Drake.
Hi, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, she can hear you.
Oh, yeah, alright. What's up? How you doing?
He's just doing a backflip real quick, sorry. Yes, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Of course, Ninja and Drake aren't the only extremely popular personalities playing Fortnite. Fortnite has gained exposure from celebrities playing and tweeting about the game, and some of PUBG's biggest stars like Shroud and Summit1G have also begun streaming Fortnite in addition to other games.
What is happening, dude?
But neither game is satisfied with where it is right now. Bluehole is attempting to fix PUBG's controversial MIRAMAR map, while adding 2 more maps to the rotation. Meanwhile, Epic Games is porting Fortnite to iOS and Android, and including crossplay. Together, PUBG and Fortnite signal the next phase of a massive trend in gaming. They're games designed to be streamed and watched, games that have broken record after record, all without any signs of slowing down. They've brought in hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue, with the 2 games combined bringing in an estimated $200 million in January 2018 alone. Battle Royale games are the most popular games in the world, and it doesn't seem like anything can stop them.
My dick, let's get it. Oh. Cash.
Hey. Thanks for watching. If you want more great content just like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button.